Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I want to talk about I want to talk about American politics in the Joe out, Kamala in era. This super brief period in time where we don't really have a president, we have a vice president, no leadership in America, right? Everybody knows at this point that Joe Biden cannot speak complete sentences, clearly isn't reading anything he's signing, right? Like it's just a mess. It's a bad mess, right? And then Kamala Harris ain't got no time to lead too, because she's running around the country trying to beat Donald Trump, right? So like complete free for all, like nobody at the wheel. Nobody at the wheel. It's ooh man, it's bad. Okay, so I want to talk about Ellen DeGeneres' brand new Netflix special, which she just brought out. I think it's called For Your Approval. It came out in September of 2024, just dropped. And it is a huge political event. It is truly a political event. So, first of all, let's dive right in. So, first of all, comedians no longer let's tier one comedians. Tier one comedians. What's a tier one comedian? Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle, Jim Gaffigan. There's probably 3 or 4 other, Bill Burr. Just stadium. People who can fill a stadium, right? People who talk to the Pope. People who like meet with Netflix to discuss their next movie. Millionaires to the last, and the only people in the world that can get paid $20 to $60 million for 1 hour of work, right? Which is the length of a standard special. And Ellen DeGeneres is in that group, right? And she's been on the bench for 15, 20 years probably, right? When was the last time you saw an Ellen DeGeneres comedy special, right? I would definitely bet $1 to a door knock, right? To that that she is getting $10 to $40 million for this, right? A lot of money, okay? And the reason why is she's been off the grid for 3 years, canceled out of Hollywood, okay? For being mean on her show, right? Or she says for being accused of being mean, right? So for being mean, right? I don't know. Like I think she was mean. Like, and the reason why is she says it in her, like, she's like, the people who were on my show, I built a panel in the roof so I could drop snakes on one of my employees. I'm like, what? That don't sound good. That doesn't sound non-mean, right? Let's get into this. So first of all, the reason why these comedians are so important, tier one comedians, are now philosopher kings. They are the only people who are still allowed to speak truth, right? So you're not going to get an ounce of truth out of any journalist except maybe Crystal and Sagar over on Breaking Points. I think they're still speaking truth, personally, right? But 99% of all journalists, any mainstream journalist, you'll never hear an ounce of truth out of their mouths or out of their pens or out of their teleprompters. Like, it's never, right? Institutions, right? Like, there's institutions that are like, we're here to protect you. We're going to do that by lying to you straight to your face at the most critical time, right? And I'll tell you right now, all faith in all institutions is done since the plague period, right? Like, people are like, you lied right to my face. And then you admitted you lied to my face at the most critical time I needed you to tell me the truth, right? Like, and they're like, not only do I not trust your institution, I don't trust any institution at this point. Churches, clergy, forget it. And actually, are clergy still speaking the truth? Yes, every Sunday. Ain't nobody going to hear it. Right? So there is no truth to be heard except the comedians. They can still speak the truth, right? And that's exactly what Ellen DeGeneres did. She came out and she just laid it out. Here's the truth. Now, why is this an important American political event? Well, we've arrived. Cancel culture has been canceled. Ellen DeGeneres officially cancels canceling. Okay, so you can no longer cancel anyone, right? So one thing, so why do I believe that? Because I watched Ellen DeGeneres' special. So let's get into it. Okay, so first of all, she was completely unrepentant. Completely unrepentant. She's like, they kicked me out of Hollywood because I was gay. They kicked me out of Hollywood because I was mean. Next, they're going to try to kick me out of Hollywood because I'm old. And you know what? You can't. She was like, I ain't buying it, right? Just not like I had to go and just stay in my house for 3 years, but here I am. Here's my special, right? And check is delivered. Check is delivered. Check is delivered. You cannot cancel me. Canceling is canceled, right? And why is Ellen DeGeneres able to do this? Well, it is her LGBTQ status, right? So it's her full journey, right? And so her journey is, hey, I can't, I was funny for everybody, and then I told everybody I was LGBTQ, and then I got canceled, right? Then I came back, I defeated that cancellation, and then I came back and I was mean to my employees, but that doesn't matter because I'm still LGBTQ, right? And guess what? I'm still powerful and I'm still here and I can still speak the truth. And you cannot cancel me, and you can't. And so she's saying that, right, with her special, but she's also saying, I'm back. And in my opinion, this is what she's really saying. And Louis C.K. is back. And Bill Burr cannot be canceled. And Dave Chappelle cannot be canceled. And none of us, no philosopher kings, can be canceled. I am canceling cancellation. And I could do it because I was canceled because I was LGBTQ. Then I used the power that rejected me. Now I'm bringing it back and I'm using my power as a premier LGBTQ to say, I'm back. I'm not apologizing for being mean. I'm not apologizing for anything. You cannot cancel me. I got my check. It's done. Canceling is done, right? And I think that's the entire message of her special. She's like, I am unrepentant, right? She's like, there's nobody mean in Hollywood. And she was literally saying, I get to be mean. I'm LGBTQ and I'm at the top of the peak. I'm at the peak of the mountain, man. And you cannot cancel me for being mean because there's tons of mean people in Hollywood. And you cannot cancel me for being LGBTQ because there's tons of LGBTQ in Hollywood. And neither one of these is a cancelable offense, right? Because I'm LGBTQ and I'm on top, right? And I speak truth. And she's dead on right? And she has just paved the road for Louis C.K. to walk right back, right? And we've seen it 100 times. We've seen canceled comedians. And at this point, literally, I actually think, so what was said before Ellen DeGeneres came back was that you aren't even a real comedian until you've been canceled, right? And then come back from it, right? Dave Chappelle did it. And I think Louis C.K. Actually, I think Ellen DeGeneres's special paves the way for Louis C.K.'s return. Huge change in American culture. I think the Ellen DeGeneres comedy special is the cancellation of cancellation. No one can be canceled again. I think, and Ellen did not say this directly, but I think the ramifications of what she's saying, because all of us are looking back and we're like, what happened with the Me Too? Did that have did we understand the resolution of that? Right? And people are like, I don't know if we did. But the one thing we know now is that nobody get canceled for anything. Right? And I think that's where we're at. Cancel culture is finished. Cancel culture is finished. Right? And I think Ellen DeGeneres, her unique profile, LGBTQ, undeniable talent. Was this thing funny? It was very funny. Not only did I laugh out loud, I actually did a spit take. I make myself cold coffee, iced coffee in small batch at home. I really enjoy it, and I have these like, I drink them right out of the concentrate containers. After I pour the concentrate out, I drink them from the concentrate containers. That Starbucks, and so I was like drinking one. And I literally had to like keep my mouth. She is legit funny. So she is LGBTQ. She is undeniably talented and funny, right? She is tier 1, right? And she used the power of those that she rejected her to make sure that she could be mean. Right, and she's like, I'm unrepentant. I can be mean just like anybody else in Hollywood. I can be LGBTQ just like anybody else in Hollywood, and neither one of these is a cancelable offense. And she was like a hurricane storm, against woke culture, and that's full circle. When the person who helped to build woke culture by coming out then tears woke culture to the ground and says, I will not apologize for being mean. You think that's mean? I don't care. Actually, she doesn't say I don't care. She says, like, if you think that's mean, well, guess what? This is Hollywood. Right? And that's what she was saying. She was like, I'm Hollywood gold. Nobody gets to cancel me. Right? Fascinating moment in history where the power that was used to reject her 20 years ago is now used to validate her right to be mean and never apologize for it. That's incredible. And I think that's, in my humble opinion, what her special was about. And I think it absolutely paves the road for the return of Louis C.K. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. Nothing more, nothing less. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider like, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.